Hey guys, welcome to episode 3 of the Geeks and Gamers podcast. This week we have got a more comic book based show to bring to you. Well, I say comic book based, actually, it's a bit of both. We've got a good mix this week. So, first topic we're going to kick off with has to be what's your favourite superhero? Now, I'm not going to go first here because I share mine with somebody else. So, in fact, I think I'm going to let Dan go first.
My favorite superhero is Batman. The reason I like Batman because, well, unlike other superheroes, he doesn't actually have any superpowers, and instead of having superpowers, he uses his own strength, training, and intelligence to fight crime. And he also comes from a tragic background, the death of his parents, and growing up with his butler Alfred, he learned the skills he needed to fight crime, and he also wanted to avenge his parents. So I think he has a noble cause. And also, I just like the Dark Knight movie. It's my favorite movie of all time.
Right, well, just to point out a fact, you know when they originally released the Batman comics? Right, nowadays he's all no killing, tie him up and ship him off. When they actually released the original Batman comics, he was actually a stone cold killer.
Oh.
The first issues, if you ever manage to find them, you'll see him walking around with machine guns and stuff like that. He was really badass back then. But I think they sort of took the side of it. Almost goes in the same aspect as Arrow, where he started off as a
I was going to say that, Luke.
Yeah, he starts off
Arrow.
like Arrow, and in the sense that he's a bit of a murderer, and then all of a sudden he has that sudden enlightenment and realizes, you know what, this isn't the way to work it. But yeah, I just sort of put that fun little fact in there anyway.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so that's something to think about. Right, so we'll move on now to Paul. Go on, who's yours?
Mine is the Hulk, and it's not because I read the comic books when I was younger or anything like that. It was actually for the fact that when I was young, used to go around to my dad's at the weekend and watch the Lou Ferrigno Hulk on the TV series, and really enjoyed that. It was a good time spending with my dad, and yeah, that's one of the reasons. Then I've read quite a few of the comics, and Planet Hulk is just brilliant, really interesting sort of storyline that I've enjoyed.
I can't say I've ever heard of Planet Hulk. I mean, I watched the Planet
movie.
No, I'm going to say I watched the series growing up. The three I really watched. One was the Hulk. One was Spider-Man, and
the live-action Spider-Man.
No, the 1990s animated series.
The best ever.
They were good, mate. I enjoyed them. But that said, though, I've got into the Spectacular Spider-Man because my youngest AJ, he saw it on Amazon Instant Video. And he was like, Spider-Man, so I put it on. And actually, when I first watched it, I listened to the theme tune, and this is nothing like a Spider-Man theme tune. And then after watching a couple of episodes, I was actually like, yeah, actually, this isn't that bad. They've kept the storyline pretty similar to the original Spider-Man. So they've just given him a different name and obviously different. Well, I'd say different. They've sort of merged the Amazing Spider-Man and the original Spider-Man together. So, it's not bad to watch, but it's not the same.
Is that the one where he joins forces with Nova and Luke Cage and the other one?
No, that's the Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's
okay.
But yeah, so and the other one I used to watch, which actually I did post something on the Facebook group, is how Disney are, because obviously Disney bought out Marvel, didn't they, a few years back? How Disney are trying to bury the X-Men. Because they were another one that I actually watched growing up, and I found out the other day.
It was brilliant.
Yeah, mate, the X-Men was great.
That was awesome.
I found out the other week they're actually going to do a comic book series based on the 1990s animated TV series.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're going to do a whole comic book section. So I was like, do you know what? I might have to start picking them up.
Nice.
So, yeah, they're going to be good. But apparently, I mean, I haven't kept up with the X-Men comics in a long time, and apparently they've actually killed Wolverine off.
Yeah.
I heard about that.
Death of Wolverine came out, what was it, about 2 months ago?
That's just wrong.
They're killing Deadpool next.
Nah, they can't kill Deadpool.
Issue 250 is going to be the death. Although there's been plenty of times where you've seen them essentially dying. There was a thing on IGN, was it last week, when they were showing the multiple ways of killing Deadpool.
I don't think Deadpool can die.
He can, technically. But
any superhero can die.
Yeah, anyone can die apart from Superman, who I actually hate.
Kryptonite, sorry.
Fag.
I will kill Superman.
No, I'm sorry, but let's be honest, right? A superhero who has super speed, super strength, laser eyes, I don't know, tons of other different things that he's got. And what's the one thing that can weaken and kill him? Something that's found on an alien rock.
Yeah, but
Crystal.
imagine if like Hawkeye or Arrow came along and just shot him with an arrow full of kryptonite.
Well,
Goodbye, Superman.
Yeah, that would technically probably take him out. I mean, if they play it right in the Batman versus Superman films and the obviously Justice League films when they come out, originally Superman actually gave Batman a kryptonite ring, and he says, "If I ever go rogue, you're the guy to take me down."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he could. Batman is basically the badass of the DC world, if you like.
I've just recently read Smallville Series 11, Volume 2, and it's an introduction of Batman into the sort of Smallville world. And Batman takes him down with red sunlight.
Red what?
Red sunlight. Because there's the whole theory of if you've got the Kryptonian sun, you cannot gain your powers from the Earth sun.
Oh, yeah.
And he generates the red sunlight into his suit and manages to kind of have a half decent fight with him until Superman kind of just walks up to him and pings him with his finger, and he then smashes into the wall. But hey,
the almighty Superman flick, strikes again. But yeah, moving on. I'll go with Steph next. What's your favourite superhero?
Iron Man, and I love Iron Man. One, because the actor's hot, obviously. Oh, come on, it's obvious, but
You do realise she's 50 now.
I like Iron Man because I don't really care if he's fit or not. But Iron Man is my favourite superhero because it's fact, he hasn't got any superpowers. He's like Batman, no superpowers. He's just got like a butt ton of money, and he just goes out and builds these suits, and he can do whatever he wants. He can be a superhero. He can go out to space, and like in the first Avengers film, he's the one who like saved everyone. I don't care what the superheroes did. He's like a badass hero. He's not a stereotypical hero either. He's like he's his own person. He's like sarcastic, and yeah, he's a bit like me. I quite like him.
But at the same time, would you not say that? And I've seen this on quite a few different things, that he does technically have a superhero by how intelligent he is.
Oh no, I agree with that. With his intelligence, it does make him a superhero, but even with his intelligence, he is someone with money. He's not, unlike Superman, who's got his powers, and Spider-Man, who got bitten by a spider. Iron Man, the way he became a superhero, yes, it's his intelligence to build his suits, but it's the fact it's his suits what make him the superhero.
That's a fair point. I mean, I was going to say Iron Man myself, but after rethinking it, I know who my favourite is, but I have to agree. I mean, I in the Marvel universe, Iron Man is definitely my favourite, and I think half of what you've said is very true. I mean, he's a very charismatic character. Charismatic. That's the word, not charismatic. It took me forever to learn incendiary grenades. I used to call him incendiary. So but yeah, I think he's definitely probably my favourite in the Marvel universe. I mean,
yeah, but to be fair, if we're splitting it between Marvel and DC, on the DC universe, Arrow's my favourite.
Oh right.
Yeah, for probably the same reasons.
He's hot.
There you go.
Survived an island.
So to be your favourite
with the
superhero, all you need to do is look good in spandex.
No, Arrow wears leather.
Same difference.
That you've got going there.
No, but if we're going to DC universe, it is Arrow for the fact. But I'm going purely on the TV series and not the comics. But he survived an island for 5 years. He came back and he followed. I don't know how much spoilers I can give. Can I give spoilers?
For season 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Season 1, he came back in season 1, like trying to get Avengers' father, and then at the end of it, he like completely changed into I can't kill anyone, and I highly respect him for it. Because if you watch season 2, he's like. Really, like when Deathstroke gets involved, he doesn't want to kill him, even though Deathstroke is a complete arse, and he just doesn't want to kill him. And I respect Arrow for that.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah, I agree, and that actually continues into season 3, which I know you haven't watched yet, so I won't give any more details. But that's to be the way that he's going, and he's really tested in season 3. So
absolutely,
when you get there, you'll enjoy it.
I'm planning to watch it at some point, but I've got to wait for someone else to catch up with me.
Right. For me, if we have to do this, my favourite Marvel superhero has to be Captain America.
Why?
Why?
We're all waiting.
Because
It has
he's
to be
hot.
Captain America. Because she's hot.
Oh yeah. I really love bad boys that run around wearing the American flag. Yeah.
You heard it here first.
as well.
Too bad Brady's not here, Dan.
No, the real reason is because he fought for his country and he wanted nothing but to fight for his country. He didn't want to kill, just stop bullies. He's a figurehead for freedom, as we will see in Captain America Civil War coming out next year. Oh yeah, I'm all the way with Captain America with his anti-registration policy. Actually, where are
Well,
you guys with that?
That depends on if they go that way with it, because there's been several different things that they've said, and they've not got the cast to do Civil War in the way the graphic novel is.
Then they shouldn't be making it.
They have got the cast, but they haven't at the same time. From what I've read, Civil War will be the one which makes part one of the next Avengers film, not Age of Ultron, the
Infinity Wars.
Yeah, when that will make basically half of the original Avengers be missing from the first half of that film, or from the first part of the two parts of the film. They will only return within the second part, which will obviously allow them to introduce a lot more newer characters. But I think they are going to go down the right route with Civil War. I mean, I've seen some of the artwork. I did actually post one on my own Twitter not long ago, where it shows Iron Man's hand holding Captain America's, well, not helmet, what do you call it, his cap, so to speak. He's not really got a mask, has he? It's more of a cap on his head, you know. His eye. Yeah.
Cowl.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah, so, you know, it was holding that. So I think they are going to go down that route. I mean, there have been several leaked storylines which have had bits change every time. I mean, I think originally as well, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, I might be getting this wrong because I've read a lot of Marvel stuff, leakage and stuff like that recently. Now, I can't remember if it was actually in Civil War film or if it's going to be in Age of Ultron, but one of them, they were actually meant to be killing off Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be Apocalypse, right?
I can't remember which one it was. I think it might have been Civil War. They originally wrote him out of it about halfway through the film. Now, since then, a new release of the script has been leaked, and he doesn't die. So, you know, I think he's in it for a bit of a long haul now. So,
well, the thing is with Quicksilver, I'm pretty sure they're trying to keep him for Inhumans.
Yeah, well, it would make sense. It would make sense because the Inhumans is going to be a huge one. I mean, who watches Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah, I've only watched episode 2, well, of the second half of the season.
Right, see, I haven't watched the second half of second season yet. I'm only on about sort of 6, but I've kept up to date with stuff on the internet and that sort of jazz. And we all know that obviously Skye is technically one of the Inhumans.
Yeah, she's quick.
Yeah.
So, with any luck, they will do that justice and bring her into it as well. They have to.
Oh
really.
yeah, she's awesome.
And I think that they've used Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as a very, very big platform to introduce a few characters into the world. So, I mean, I've got to be honest, I started watching it the other night, catching up with it all and stuff, and I watched about the first 3 episodes, and I thought to myself, this is really, really slow. And I've got to about episode 6 now, and it's like, actually, no, this is starting to pick up and get better. But I think it's one of them that you have to keep watching it to understand some of the stuff that's within the films.
Do you think we're going to see Black Bolt in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I don't think we'll see him in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
He'll be in the film.
I'm only on season 1 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because of Walking Dead and Arrow.
Ah, well, it gets
better. It gets
epic.
I read the spoilers.
One thing, and it was something that I've seen today, like kind of sticking with the character integration. Now, it's been hinted at that Captain Marvel is supposed to be coming into Age of Ultron.
I heard about that.
One theory that I've seen is because there's not been any other cast announcements, and it would be a shame for Carol Danvers, but what if Scarlett Johansson, aka Black Widow, becomes Captain Marvel to progress into having powers?
Does Black Widow turn into Captain Marvel in the comics?
Not in the comics, but in order to get that character involved.
I don't know. I don't know whether they'd take it away that far. You know what I mean?
I don't like that.
They've kept quite close so far.
Yeah, they have with most of the characters' sort of origin stories, but it's a fact of trying to keep Black Widow with her lack of sort of superpowers in the mix.
I think I have a feeling she's probably you know how they're hinting that one Avenger is gonna die. What happens if it's Black Widow?
Well, she's getting her own film.
I'll be very
She's-
sad.
Well, there's not been an announcement of a Black Widow film, but
That's
there has been
rumoured, isn't
There's the Captain Marvel film has been.
Didn't
The
they
other
ask
thing is,
Angelina Jolie to direct that?
Yeah, I heard about that.
she's also confirmed for Winter Soldier, not Winter Soldier, Civil War, so she's not going to die in Age of Ultron.
Oh, okay then. The theory debunked.
Luke,
Yes.
who's your favourite superhero?
Right. Okay. So Marvel, you already know that I like Iron Man. DC wise, I've got to be honest, and I've read most of the comics now as well. After watching the TV show, it has to be Flash.
Flash
I am-
is brilliant.
I am
Which Flash?
really. It's got to be Barry Allen.
Oh, okay.
It's got to be. Purely because I think they're doing the TV series very well. They haven't stuck to said storyline from comics very well. They have brought people in from left, right, and centre, and not really. It's like with at the minute. Obviously, they haven't announced him much within the show, but he looks like he's going to come into it a lot in the next few episodes. Is Grodd? That's a completely different twist on the storyline. But I think what they've done with the TV show is absolutely amazing. I mean, I watched Arrow and I was a bit hesitant to watch Flash, and I was like, I might not like it. And then I thought, I got to that point in season 3 where they crossed over, and I went, because it turned around and went, previously on the Flash and Arrow, and I went, oh, great, now I've got to watch the Flash. So I started watching Arrow for a bit, turned the Flash on, I couldn't start watching it. I watched it straight through, and then started watching Arrow again. And
That's what I'm planning to do with Flash.
yeah, I mean, it's very good.
Because-
Once you start, you won't stop watching it. It's absolutely
Well,
fantastic.
because I think, at the beginning with season 2 spoiler, but when he first got introduced, he was like someone so he's really bad with timing and all that.
Yeah.
And, I think the way Arrow portrayed, Arrow portrayed Flash, like when he started, I thought that was like really, really good. I think that's like the best introduction of a superhero.
See, when I first saw
Of ev-
Barry Allen, and obviously the whole, I can say this without giving too much away because everyone's going to know the origin stories of Flash anyway. Basically, Flash gets to make Flash. Barry Allen ends up getting hit by a streak of lightning, which then knocks him back onto chemicals which make the lightning bond with his body.
Wait, but you missed a bit with the Star Labs.
It's
I can't remember what it's called.
yeah, but that's not necessarily an origin piece. It is
I thought
in.
I thought it was with the Arrow series. Is right.
It is in the
got him
series.
started.
Yeah, it is in the
But 'cause
series.
I thought because with that we created other super mutants, and that's what Flash is fighting in the TV series. I haven't watched TV series Flash yet, but that's what I gathered from it.
Yes, but to cut a long story short, basically, Star Labs create a particle accelerator. It explodes. Barry Allen gets covered in chemicals and struck by a streak of lightning, and hence becomes the Flash and works with Star Labs, who, they also have an alternate motive as to why they've hired him, etc. But that gets explained. I'm not going to go into any more detail with that. But yes, as far as I know, I mean, I've only read the New 52s. But before that, I sort of did a bit of research online as to what the comic background was, and there was no Star Labs particle explosion, as far as I'm aware, in the background of the comics. It was basically just a streak of lightning hit him, and he ended up on chemicals. But as soon as I saw that in the Arrow at the end of the episode, I went, "Do you know what? That's going to be the Flash." As soon as I said it, and that was before they announced
the difference between Reverse Flash and Flash?
Right. The main difference between the Flash and the Reverse Flash is about 5 centuries.
Oh.
Yes, the Reverse Flash is from the future. The Flash is from the present. And basically, they end up. There's something in the comics which is called the Speed Force, and they're both linked to it. Basically, it means that they can both time travel. And the Flash is basically his alter ego is the Reverse Flash, and they are basically forever battling it out. That's the way it is. Which they bring the Reverse Flash in straight away in the Flash series, which is actually really good. As I said the other night to a friend, I would like to see how they're going to top it in season 2. I mean, reading the comics is quite a lot they could still bring into it. I mean, they haven't brought half the enemies in yet, really. But that said, they've got to try and make it. Yeah, they've got to try and make it as exciting. I mean, I hope they don't kill Grodd off straight away because he's got quite a big piece. He's quite a big villain.
He's good. The thing is, like, the way that they've introduced the Reverse Flash now, I've just watched the episode The Trickster. I wouldn't give anything away, but look, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
That episode was just
That is
phenomenal.
the best episode ever.
How to bring in a character and take a character away.
Yeah.
Best way I can put it.
Yeah.
And that's still not a spoiler.
Yeah.
But that was amazing. They've done a mixture between flashbacks to current events and with a different storyline going on at the exact same time.
It was such a good episode.
In a 40-minute episode, they crammed in so much, but it made that episode the best of the series.
Yeah.
And it will be very difficult to top that,
yeah.
I think.
That said, though, if you watch the trailer that I posted on the Facebook group,
yes,
my God, just the fact there's going to be more crossovers, Firestorm comes back, mate, it's going to be. I've got a funny feeling the last couple of episodes of both series are going to go out with a bang. And the fact as well, I found out the other day. Obviously, Steph won't know this yet. Ray Palmer.
Yep.
I won't say his real character name within the story because I don't want to give it away too much for Steph. He will also be getting his own spin-off series.
Yes, that's actually been announced for quite a little while now.
See, I didn't know that.
There's also I don't know. I can't give say much on this because there's a character that's supposed to be that is in Arrow that will be joining Ray Palmer in his spin-off series.
Yes.
But as a task for yourself, Luke, and we can discuss it off the podcast.
Yeah.
But go look up who it is that's supposed to be joining him, and then give me your feedback on it.
Right. Is it just that? Is it a main character? Or is it someone they've just recently introduced, or someone's been in a while?
I would say that it's a secondary character.
Right.
That's in Arrow. That's all I can really say without spoiling it for anyone.
Is it Black Canary?
Okay. So on that,
other people,
I'm
if you
sad
want to
it can't be
speculate,
Canary, I'll tell you that now.
stick it in the comments.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Stick it below in the comments, or come and join us on the Facebook page and have you say there, because we'd like to know who you think it's going to be. Or obviously, if you do know who it is, then please come over and shout it out so everyone else can find out who it is. But I think that's a good place to wrap this one up and move on to probably the next topic now. So topic number 2 this week, we are going to be talking about something that we sort of touched upon last week, and that's Hunt the Truth. Now, personally, I haven't been keeping up with it very well. I know that a few guys here have been, so I'll let you guys take the lead on this one.
Well, we did say in the podcast we'll mention it weekly until Halo 5 is out.
That's true, but I just haven't had the time to look at it. I spent 2 days editing this thing last week, so give me a bit of slack.
Oh, don't worry, I haven't listened to it either. I've been too busy at work.
That's all right then.
So I'll take in the Halo 5 feedback on. I've been following this from the 1 o'clock in the morning UK time when it launched. It's a really interesting sort of few things that have come out. We've now got some Dear Diary screenshots that have came out. Although a lot of people that have only been listening to the sort of interviews that have happened on the sort of Sunday and looking at it on the Monday, something news came out recently. I don't know when this is. We're looking at this on Friday night, so it's in the past 4 days. But there is now a image that's of Last Planet. Gives you a bit of a description of what Benjamin Garrod has actually seen when he's actually touched base, and the devastation that's actually caused on the planet when they are glass. So you get a bit more of an understanding of what's happened to John's planet.
I'd just like to put my oar in here. When people say glass planets, I was expecting it to be all sparkly and made of glass, and it actually isn't. It's just a big mess.
Yeah.
When you said it, I thought about the bottle of glass and Destiny.
We're not allowed to bash Destiny this week, so just stay off it.
No, I'm not saying no. I can have glass planet looking all pretty and all that, full of glass.
There is a shout out that I need to give to Darren. He'll know exactly who I'm talking about. We do apologise for the abuse that we gave Destiny. There are some of us that are bored of it, there's some that have not experienced then level rage, so can't give our full comments, but are more than happy to invite you along one evening, and you can give your viewpoint on Destiny.
I don't apologise for my views on Destiny. You spent too much hours on Destiny, so I think I stand by my opinion.
Yeah, just to point out here, like they do at the beginning of videos when you listen to commentaries, that the comments made here are that of the person and not of the Geeks and Gamers group.
Yes.
Okay, so
Exactly.
personally, Steph might not apologise, and I don't particularly like Destiny, but others do. So therefore, it's personal opinion, and if we offended anyone in the previous podcast,
I
then
apologise
we
for
do
offending people
apologise.
then. I
I
apologise for
can't
offending, but I
help
don't
a
apologise
fanboy,
for my
it's fine.
view.
He had his own wee cry. So back to Halo news anyway. So we've got another recording of interviews. He's author has actually went back to the girl after he spoke to her the first time, and there was the whole thing about John reaching the age of 12, but there was some sort of theory of him dying when he was 6 years old. One of the girls that did hang about with John when he was younger had left the planet, or sort of got glassed. When they then caught up and had a bit of a communication, the girl that left the planet says that John died when he was 6. The girl that stayed on the planet said that he left at 12. And that's kind of where we're sitting with Hunt the Truth.
It's the clown who died, right?
Yeah, that's
no
the
idea.
theory behind it. That Grady did touch on this. Obviously, he's not here today, so he can't put his input. So more for
Shout out
you,
to
Grady.
Grady. Get better
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah, big shout out to Grady. Hope you feel better, mate. But you should be here giving your point.
Yes,
Exactly.
Even if you like there thrown up, you could still have made a
Yeah,
point.
yeah. There's no wrong with on the actual podcast. That's fine. There we go. Look, there's a bit there. So, but no, more to the point. Yeah, one of the theories is that they cloned the children that they took, didn't they? But the clones didn't survive very long after being put back out into the world. So that is definitely a theory as to who or what is happening. Obviously, like I said, I haven't kept up with Hunt the Truth, so I can't speak on behalf of what's been written and broadcast on that actual website.
There's a couple of other things, like he comes back, or when he's a bit older in the very first sort of episodes, they're talking about John like sort of ending up in fights and taking on people and things like that at a young age, but it's after the age of 6. So could it technically be?
Yeah, which would indicate that there was some clone processor, or some sort of.
Is it the clone that survived?
Yeah.
And created clones overall.
Well, it's true. I mean,
but if you read the books, you should know.
Yeah, well, I've read the first one. I haven't gone into depth. I mean, as I said the other week, I've only actually read the first book. I've read the Gears books, and I do enjoy reading. It's just I don't get the time between now doing this and I game far too much and watching TV series and everyday life. I just don't find time to read, even though I probably should. There's a lot of stuff I would like to catch up on. I end up just sort of drifting the books away. Even though it's like, I'll be honest with you, I watched the series on the TV Under the Dome, and I quite enjoy that. And I thought, do you know what? I'll read the actual novel it's based on. And I bought it off Amazon. I think I got it for 99p used, and I basically just used it as a door wedge. It's never actually been read. It's just sat upstairs doing nothing. I'll be honest, watching TV series for me is quite a new thing because it started off actually watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I wasn't very well for a week or so, and it got to the point where I just didn't feel like playing on the Xbox or chatting to anyone. So, I just messaged my mates and says, look, I'm not going to be on for a while. I'm not feeling very well. I'm going to just sit back and watch some TV series. So that's when I started watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Arrow. And since then, I've actually started watching quite a bit more TV than what I would have done normally. I've always had the odd program that me and my missus, we sit down and we watch, like Supernatural, the originals. I'll even say Vampire Diaries because we watched that until the originals came out, and we've same with Bones as well. Actually, we watched them, and there was always that sort of stuff that we sort of sat together and watched. But I never really watched anything on my own. It was more as soon as we finished watching it, I'd go on the Xbox or whatever. So, but yeah, that to me, I would imagine maybe when I hit my midlife crisis, I'll start reading books and then catch up with everything.
Better than buying a car.
Well, it's true. It's true.
You should ask Grady for some tips.
Yeah, maybe I will. Grady, if you've got any tips, put them in the comment.
Poor Grady, he's still young.
Is this pick on Grady night rather than pick on Dan night?
Well, let's be honest. One of the oldest here, I'd say. Maybe.
You are. I think Paul's older than you.
And Grady's older than me. I'm 28.
Right.
Grady is granddad.
So yeah.
I'm just a mummy because I'm the only female.
So I'm 24. Yeah.
You're midlife crisis 24 shop.
Yeah, that is a midlife crisis.
No, I'm 24. I'm not going through a midlife crisis yet.
Anyway, midlife crisis over. Back to Hunt the Truth. Have we got anything more to add on the situation? Anyone else got anything to put in there?
Just the next episode that will be coming up on from my side anyway is Sunday evening.
Next topic this week, we are going to be talking about Age of Ultron. About 3 weeks now before it hits cinemas.
I'm so gonna watch it on release date, hopefully.
Well, actually, yeah. As recording, because we're on a Friday, 3 weeks today, and it goes worldwide. And actually, 2 weeks it'll be available in the UK because we get it a week before the Americans. Yeah, it's
Sorry,
about time
Grady, you're missing out.
we got something early. Yeah, seeing as it's only a few weeks away now, let's have a little chinwag about what's going to be. Well, not what's going to be, but who's going to be in the film. Our thoughts on the trailers that we've watched, etc.
Okay. One of the things that I'll kind of point out is I've read Age of Ultron graphic novel. It's was actually given to me by my best mate for my birthday. Because the film was coming out, he says, have a read of this. And
You have a
see what
very
you
nice friend.
think." That's Scott. He's a brilliant guy. So
Can I
it's
be
not
Scott's
gonna
friend too?
Well,
Hi, Scott. I want to be your friend.
You have a
Scott, I wanna
Scott
be your
for a
friend
friend.
too.
He does want to join us on the podcast a couple times as well. So, but based on the graphic novel, it's not going to be. Well, there may be some bits of it similar, but I doubt it because one of the main characters, or two main characters in Age of Ultron, the graphic novel, is Ant-Man and Wolverine. So that kind of debunks the graphic novel for the most part.
Do you think
That'd be
Ant-Man
so
will be in
cool
it?
though if they turned up.
It would be. It would be really interesting for the cinematic universe to receive Hugh Jackman in the film.
Hugh
Just
Jackman is
delivering
another
the
very,
shit
very hot guy.
Is that another one of your favourite superheroes?
Yes.
Another guy who wears spandex.
She likes metal
I know.
claws. She wants to get scratched.
No, we're not going down this route. This is
Yeah, we're getting a
Facebook
little bit
message.
off topic.
But back to the actual stuff that's been shown, the individual sort of scene credits that they've done, where they sort of split out, they call up the name, and then they show a like, sort of 10-second stint of each of the characters. Looks absolutely brilliant. You've got this, the majority cast. Looks like there's only 3 new people joining, which are Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and the Vision. What are your thoughts on Paul Bettany's costume for the Vision?
I love
Oh, I
it.
think it
it's
looks awesome.
fantastic.
Here's a question. Do you think in the film the Vision will be Jarvis put into an android body?
I don't know. I think though they might try and stick to the lore of the character, where it's Ultron that creates the Vision.
Well, no, because Iron Man is building him with Hulk.
But that's Ultron that they create, isn't it?
No, it's the Vision. They built both the Ultron and Vision.
Yeah,
But they
the Ultron
yeah.
program is what Downey Jr., Iron Man, or Tony Stark, whatever you want to call him, he admits to making the Ultron program within the trailers. So therefore,
we see that.
Yeah, he made, as far as we're aware, he made the Ultron program. So whether it is him and Banner that are working on Vision, I don't know. I wouldn't like to see Jarvis put into there because I think Jarvis is his own entity, and I like Jarvis the way it is. And I'll be honest, I watched one episode of Agent Carter the other week, and I couldn't get into it. But after seeing someone portray Jarvis, and I think the actor did a great job of portraying him as a human, was just that was brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, there's plenty of incarnations of Jarvis being a human in the comics.
Edwin Jarvis.
So that said, I don't think he will be in Vision. I think Vision is his own character and his own entity. I think that's the way they want to keep him.
That's why I think it's going to be created by Ultron rather than Tony Stark.
I'll be honest, I'm not watching anything on Avengers at the moment because I want the surprise when I go see it in the cinema.
Oh yeah.
It's one of the few things I will not spoil for myself, like because I love the Avengers and I'm not watching anything on it because I want to go to the cinema, watch it, and be like, "Oh my god, that was amazing."
Oh, I'll still be like that no matter what.
Yeah,
I know, but like, because I read spoilers on everything. Like I've read Arrow spoilers and stuff, and it's like, this is something I don't want to spoil for myself.
I just like to see the kind of avenue that they're taking with it on, like, on. For those that have seen the trailers, what do you feel the difference is between Quicksilver in the Marvel Cinematic Universe compared to Quicksilver in the Fox Universe?
The Quicksilver in the Fox Universe is a badass, from what we've seen in Days of Future Past, anyway.
And what would you consider Quicksilver in this one?
I don't know. He seems very serious to me from the trailers. I don't really see him having as much fun as he did in Fox, but that might be just because we haven't seen much of him in Marvel's version of him.
Yeah, I
To be
think
fair-
I think you make a valid point there. I think it is quite hard to suggest what
Yeah.
his character is going to be like from a trailer. But I would have to differ with you there, Dan, because I think he's got cockiness. He's
Yeah,
definitely got
true.
cockiness. I mean, in the trailer, well, one of his only lines in the trailer is, "Oh, what's the matter? Too fast." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's still got the cockiness there. I think they'll portray him well. And I mean, I'm
seems
surprised
like a more
we're
darker-
allowed to have him, to be honest. But
It's because they split rights for those two characters. I had a picture on Facebook. It's kind of shows they put the production rights in split, and Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch have had the two, like they kind of cross over the two. I can't remember what the reasoning was, but it was when companies bought up the characters back in the 90s. That's why we've got such a split, and why Marvel are trying to get them back.
see, I think eventually Marvel will get all the characters back, especially now they've got the deep pockets of Disney behind them.
Yeah.
I think they will buy majority of the characters back. What I don't agree with, if I'm honest, is buying Ultimate Spider-Man back on and then still allowing is it Sony that do the
Yeah,
Spider-Man
Sony.
films?
Sony.
I don't agree with the fact that Sony will go on to now produce the spectacular Spider-Man films. Yeah, that's going to be
agree.
another
Yeah,
split,
that's
obviously, because they've got the
stupid.
Ultimate Spider-Man, and I would imagine they probably have the majority of the Spider-Man bins, but left Sony with that one, so they continue their side of the story. But to me, I'm getting a little bit sick of seeing Spider-Man films that repeat the same damn thing all the time.
Yeah,
I agree.
we've seen the origin too many times. Give us something fresh.
Yeah, if
Need
they're
to
gonna,
see Miles Morales.
yeah, see,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
in the
I'd
same
like to see
boat there.
that.
Actually, I'd quite like to see Miles come into it. And I think I actually read an article not long ago about it, and if I can find it, actually, I'll stick it on the Facebook group. Basically, it was explaining how a lot of characters now portrayed in films are of different origins to what they are in the comics. For example, obviously, like in that case, there was talks about Spider-Man becoming a black Peter Parker.
Yeah.
But in the comics, Miles is black, so why bring in a black Peter Parker when you could do the Miles story? You know, that would make more
that
sense.
blew up all over the internet.
Sounds like they're just being awkward.
But it's not that, mate. It's to do with the openness of the casting. It's
yeah, they
nothing.
need to show.
Yeah, that
diversity.
anyone could get the part. Because if you turn around and say, okay, well, we're going to do this next Spider-Man film, I want a white male of an American ethnicity. I don't know. I'm tripping over my
Ethnicity.
words tonight. So, basically, American background, and he has to be between the ages of 22 and 30. That's going to cut down. I mean, a lot of companies do that, but now they've started more going, okay, well, we want it to be between these ages that has this background. It doesn't about race or.
They're looking at
that
it. Can we get the best actor role? Look at what
Yeah.
they're doing with the Human Torch.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's a very bold move. Got to be honest. After seeing the Thing in that film, I think he's going to having the Thing portrayed by Billy Elliot is not the way to go.
He looks like a pile of, and by my language, he looks like a pile of shit.
Well, he looks like rocks. He looks a lot better than how the first Thing looked in the incarnation that they did in 2004.
No, I'm going to have to disagree. I quite like the original Thing.
The thing was, like, the Thing's rocks and boulders that's all jammed together. In the cartoon, he was essentially jagged. In the film that they brought out, he looked like a putty man.
Yeah,
Whereas
I agree with you there.
This kind of picture that they've got, it looks like it's a collection of rocks that's like, pulled its stuff together, and they're jarred out and things like that, and it's not the best picture to have, but it is only a teaser picture, so we need to see it in action and how the body moves in comparison to just basing it on a picture. It's like me turning around and saying, well, what's your opinion on Quicksilver for Age of Ultron compared to, we were only getting this small snip.
It's true, but I from the trailer, I can already tell you I'm not looking forward to the Fantastic Four reboot. It's not got me hyped as much as the Avengers or any of the other trailers, so I might have to give it a pass in the cinemas. I might pick it up when it comes out on Blu-ray, but I'm not really looking forward to that one.
I'm looking forward to Fantastic Four.
Oh.
It looks like it's...
Not as much as Avengers, but I'm still looking forward to Fantastic Four.
For the 3 superhero films that are out this year, Avengers number 1, Ant-Man number 2, Fantastic Four number 3. That's the kind of order I've got them set.
I think actually that's the order of release.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
I thought Fantastic Four was before Ant-Man, was it not?
When's Ant-Man due out?
June, isn't it? Or June or July?
Yeah, the Fantastic Four's not due out till September, October time.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was the other way
I
around.
think it's September actually. I think it's September 17th, but don't quote me on that. I think it's
I'm
about
just pulling
September
this
17th.
up.
So, yeah. Anyway,
Looking forward to seeing Paul Rudd play Ant-Man.
See, I don't know anything about Ant-Man. I'm one of these people that if I don't know anything about him, I'll go on the internet and try and find out as much as I can about the character, their origin story, and comic books, etc. Right to the point where I'll even try and get hold of some of the comic books to have a read. And before I obviously watch something, I mean, the two things I didn't do that with is Arrow and the Flash. The Flash I started reading afterwards. Arrow I haven't touched because apparently the TV series is quite a weak adaptation of is actually within the comics. It's
Yeah.
It's not
It's
bad,
very different.
but it is, it's completely different in the same aspect. You know what I mean? So whether there is the comic fanatics around the internet are saying that it is slowly starting to turn more towards Green Arrow, but it depends how they take it and where they go.
Yeah, but to be fair, I think, like, no offense to people who read comics religiously, but I think they can get a bit arsey when the TV series take a different turn. And
Yeah.
you got to appreciate the audience is different to comic book readers and those who watch TV series.
Yeah.
Like, with TV, you have to put like a lot more different stuff in it to get more audiences engaged. Just like The Walking Dead, the comic books are different to the TV series. Yes, there's some crossovers, but it's different.
Well,
And that's because you got to keep people engaged into the TV series.
yeah, well, if you look
See,
at the actual TV series of The Walking Dead and the comics, the characters that have actually been killed off are completely different. I think if just to pull a two off the top of my head, Andrea's dead in the TV series, whereas she's alive in the comics. That's
and
just one of
Carol
them.
as well.
Yeah, exactly. And there was a couple of twins that were in it. They were actually the opposite sex. Yeah, they were the opposite sex. So, there's been quite a few alterations. Just like, for example, Daryl's not in any of the comics. That was an AMC character.
Yeah.
They created him and stuff.
And people love Daryl in that, and it's like that's what TV's trying to do. It's trying to engage an audience. So I think the reason why they went different ways is because thinking like what's going to draw the audience. Like more people are going to relate with people on TV rather than comic books.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
I agree.
So the thing is, like, you've got comic book fans. You get a series of comics, and then they'll take a different avenue with it.
Yeah.
Look at what they've done with the writings of Wolverine. You've got, we were just talking about it before the cast started, Wolverine has got a death story now. That's recently came out. But you've also got Old Man Logan. But the death of Wolverine is I'm pretty sure when I've seen the artwork for it, it's a younger version of Wolverine. It's not Old Man Logan.
No, it's not.
So if you've got that, how can you overall argue of a TV show having a different aspect again?
Well, I think this all relates back to the Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
But I'm saying this all relates back to Age of Ultron. Like Paul was saying, it seems to be different to what the comics are and what the film's going to be.
Yeah.
And what are you going to engage more with?
That might be down to the fact that they don't have all the characters.
Yeah, no,
but
I know that. But minus that.
You're getting a different aspect, and it's going to be an interesting story because you can't turn around and go, "Oh, I know exactly what's happening."
Exactly. Yeah.
If you stick to the original source, it doesn't give that mystery to pull in the crowds. You want that intrigued customer base, and you don't have that if everything is 100% accurate.
The Winter Soldier. You remember the whole Hydra infiltration thing? Was that drawn from comic books or was that invented?
I'm not entirely sure. Soldier, I'm sure. Because it was the Winter Soldier comic book was a case of throughout time there was assassinations happening, and it was this Winter Soldier that was happening, and Steve had to essentially go and find who this was. Though I can't remember if there was any espionage in it.
Hell Hydra.
Hunt her down and throw her in the ditch.
Oh, well, let's be honest, Hydra own half the world in the comic books now, so, well, not the comic books, but the cinematic universe. Hydra now own the world, so, we don't really stand much of a chance.
You're better saying Hail Hydra and being undercover.
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah.
I love Hydra. They are my favourite bad guys.
It's a good concept of a bad guy.
It is. It's very good.
It's not one person. It's you get hugs from people going, Elijah.
Brilliant.
Sorry, but if that's the case, you should all be in a loony bin. If you're walking around hugging people, going, "Hail Hydra," you should be put in the nearest loony bin.
I do think, like, with all these superhero stuff coming out, I do think it forms a bond with like all these nerds, like at Comic Con, and like all those who like that sort of stuff. It just like forms a bond which you didn't get.
Right, on that note, I think we're going to wrap up that one. Right, final subject this week, we are going to be talking about Black Ops 3. Now, it's been in the headlines of practically every gaming news website and YouTuber who actually, up until the point where the announcement trailer was released, were going, it's been confirmed, they'd seen like one little picture somewhere. Now, I believe that it's been quite a mass media market involving Snapchat as well, and it was all brought about after a recent update to Black Ops 2. Now, this is going to be sort of a debate here because Call of Duty there's always that battle between Call of Duty versus Battlefield, and we don't really want to go down that line, but we're going to give our opinions on what we would like to see, what we wouldn't like to see, whether we're happy that they're doing a Black Ops 3 or whether we'd like to have seen a different storyline, etc. So I'll start this one because I haven't really started anything. I've passed it around this week. Personally, I'd have preferred to have seen a World at War 2 because I really, really enjoy the World War games, and I think it's about time one of the companies that went back to their roots. It's been a very long time coming in having a decent World War 2 game. Obviously, I played Wolfenstein, which is a complete, sort of off the trail of World War 2. It's sort of afterwards, and if the Nazis won, but it's quite similar in the same aspect. But I think it's about time Call of Duty went back to its roots. Now, what do you guys think? And don't all shout at once. Actually, I'm going to nominate Dan. Go first.
Well, I actually made a video on my own personal YouTube channel a few months ago, arguing that I really did want World War II to come back because, well, it's been 10 years since we got Call of Duty during World War II. And basically, I think that it would have given them the edge they needed to push the sales this year. Because let's face it, Call of Duty sales are really have been going down in the past few years. But I'm still really happy with Black Ops 3 because, well, I think I love Treyarch because, well, Treyarch's Call of Duties have always been my favorite since World of War right up to Black Ops 2, and Black Ops 2 is actually my favorite Call of Duty of all time. I'm happy to see zombies return. I'm happy to see that they're going to be continuing the storyline, and I can't wait to see what they do with it.
Right, that's fair enough. Now, I'd have to agree with you actually because Treyarch have always been my favourite Call of Duty developers. Though, as I said, I'd rather have seen the World at War. And just to point out as well, not to undermine you here, but it's been 8 years since seeing World War II version. The only reason I know that is because when I went to buy it, I actually got ID'd. It was a 15, I was 17 at the time. I got ID'd to buy it. Yeah, that's how bad it was. And that was back Woolworths was on the high street. That's where I went to buy it from. I went in there, I picked it up, I put it on the counter, and have you got any ID, please? And I'm like, I'm 17. But there you go. How time flies.
Was that World at War?
Yeah, that was World at War. And so yeah. Anyway, carry on.
My opinion is the world. I'm a massive Medal of Honor fan, and I have been, and I'm absolutely gutted EA cut Medal of Honor because Medal of Honor I think was the best war game out there, and I think the story of Medal of Honor was far superior than Call of Duty. But I am a Call of Duty fan. I have been since Call of Duty 2 was the first one I played, and I'm excited about Black Ops 3. But the most unpopular opinion ever, I'd rather have a Ghost 2. I absolutely love the Ghost. I know, but I absolutely love the Ghost storyline. I don't play for multiplayer. I play for the story, and I think the Ghost story was more interesting than Black Ops. Yes, Black Ops was interesting, but I think I prefer Ghosts over it, and that's my opinion. But I am looking forward to a new COD, even though it's released every single year. I still love COD because I like my first-person shooters.
See, I think that a couple of people there actually touched on a valid point, and storyline wise, I definitely think and this is slightly going off the Call of Duty side of it, I think Battlefield always has better storylines than COD. Now, I agree that Medal of Honor always has a better story. Though, I was very, very pleased to see the way they integrated World at War to Black Ops 1. That was
Oh
very,
yeah.
very good. And I enjoyed the way that they involved Black Ops 1 into Black Ops 2, though I have to be honest, if I'm talking about my favourite two that go together, it has to be World at War and Black Ops 1. I thought the Black Ops 2 campaign was very good, but it probably wasn't my favourite. If I'm going to go for favourite campaign, it has to be World at War.
I think with Call of Duty, my favourite campaign would have to be COD 3.
Whoa, that's a very strange choice. I've never heard anyone pick COD 3.
I know, but it's like everyone goes hypes up about COD 4. Yes, COD 4 was like brilliant, Modern Warfare. It was brilliant, but like the what really got me COD was COD 3 on the PlayStation 2.
I sat and played COD 3 as well. That was my first COD that I played. But I'm just going to skip out on my comments until that's my turn.
Feel free, mate. Carry on. Take it away.
Yeah, carry on.
I'm not a fan of COD. I've bought COD games. I do. I've played most of them, but it's just I don't know whether or not it's just a case of the war aspects. I prefer my space shooters. I'm a Halo fan, and Titanfall fan. But COD, I think it's slow. It's a slow game. And I'm noticing that if you're spending 40 quid, 50 or 60 quid on these games, and you're getting a 4 or 5 hour storyline. I want a bit
That's
longer.
huge.
I don't. I've never bought one of the limited edition CODs. I just don't think it's worth the money.
I did.
personally.
I got the night vision goggles from Modern Warfare 2.
I've got to be
I buy
honest.
collector's edition because it's shiny.
Yeah, I bought the Atlas edition of the newest
So did
one,
I.
Advanced Warfare, but I did buy that at Christmas. I rented it out at first, and I said to myself, "This is the thing I do with COD from now on." I decided that this year because I rent a lot of games. To me, I'll rent a COD if I like it and I play it. I'll buy it at Christmas. If I don't, then it'll go back. But this
Yeah, but-
year,
Yeah.
I was like, actually, I'm really enjoying this Call of Duty. As I said, actually, before the podcast, I bought the season pass and haven't played it. I played the first lot, the Exo Zombies I bought in, and I only need one more achievement on that. I haven't touched the COD since, probably 5-6 days after the first map pack came out. Partly because they don't introduce hardcore playlist with the map pack only variants, which really annoys me because I'm a hardcore player. I hate core. It's just full of bullet sponges and people that don't die.
Yeah.
So that's one of my reasons. But yeah, I did buy the Atlas edition, and that has to be the first special edition I bought of a game since I bought the edition of Gears of War 3. And I tell you what, I was on holiday actually when that came out. I was on holiday when it came out. I came back to this red slit through the door from the Royal Mail. It was like, it's at your local post office to be collected. And I walked down there, and I was walking down with the missus, and we got in there, and the woman behind the counter goes, "Can you tell me what's in it?" I went, "Yeah, Gears of War 3 Epic Edition." And they both just laughed at each other. The woman behind the counter, she's like, "You really know what's in it, don't you?" I was like, "Yeah, I want it now." Sort of thing. But, I don't generally tend to buy the special editions or collector's editions, mainly because of money, if I'm honest. Like I said, I rent most of my games because I don't see the point in forking out for games that either I'm only going to ever play once or just won't like after I put it in. That's a great thing about renting, and which I thank Microsoft for not putting the digital rights management they were originally going to put in place.
Yeah.
Screw you, what's his name? The guy that went to Zynga.
Do you know what? That would have been a lot better if you knew his name.
Well, to be honest,
That's an edit out.
I can be opposite to you, Luke. I just go straight away buy the collector's edition.
See, I've got a mate like that.
I can't afford it, but I do it. It's like, oh, this is a good game. I'm gonna get a collector's edition. And I do regret that on some games.
Yeah.
But it's like the way, like, I'm so desperate to get like collector's editions of certain games, so I'm ordering Halo 5 from America, like the super duper edition.
I've spoke to Game and they said they've only got the standard edition just now. They will be getting some form of limited editions later on.
I can't hear you. Sorry, Paul. I can't hear you over that. I spent £175 on Halo 5.
Yeah, it'll probably still be the same price.
Just to put that out there.
I hate Game due to Mass Effect 3 collector's edition cock up. I absolutely hate. And the only reason why the last time I went to game was because they're the only ones who had the limited edition of Halo Master Chief Collection. That's the only reason why I went back to game.
I see. I continually go to game, and game turned around was it last June, and handed me £100 worth of shares.
Oh yeah, I remember all of that.
So I'm putting my hands up. I'm a game fan.
But that's
I'm a
bribery,
GameStop fan.
or Blackwell. I suppose it wasn't blackmail.
I
They didn't
prefer
hold you to the
Amazon.
counter saying you will take our shares, or you will never shop
No.
again. You know, but
And then I sold my shares and got 3 free, so I was quite happy.
technically, you could have got 3 games anyway with the shares. Well, actually, no, not at game price. You're probably talking more like 1.5.
Yeah.
You know, but
Does anyone have the Batmobile version of Arkham Knight pre-ordered? Because I do.
I haven't bought Arkham Knight. I'm not interested in buying it. Batman is not like superhero I like.
Boo!
I really enjoy the Batman games. I think they're very good. But I think we're getting slightly off topic here. Let's try and sort of
Yes.
loop it back into Black Ops. Otherwise, the COD fanboys have already switched off by now. I'll edit that bit out later.
But
Going back
in relation to Call of Duty,
Well, can I make a point with COD right here? And I don't mean to offend anyone when I say it, but most fake gamer girls are like, "Oh my god, COD." And I don't mean to offend anyone. I'm not saying all gamer girls are fake, but most of them are like, "Oh my god, COD," thinking they're gonna fit in with the gaming industry, and it's like, yeah, there's more than COD in video games. Like, you know, I got a very wide range of video games. I've been banned from some by the other half due to throwing my controller across the room. But it's like, I love COD, but then I'll play like other games like Minecraft.
I tell you what, if
And
you put a controller in front of my missus and put Gears of War on, you'll lose her. We used to play Horde on Gears of War 2, and she used to get really annoyed when people nicked her kills. I mean,
Oh.
really annoyed.
She's like me.
She learnt it off me. I think.
my other half, I was playing what was I playing? Mortal Kombat, and I was like 2 against 1, and I started swearing at my ex. I was like, "This is cheating," and I threw my controller across the room, and he turned my Xbox and goes, "You're banned from playing those games."
I did that with a Rubik's Cube once because it wouldn't go back to being all colours on one side. So I threw it against the wall and put it back together. It worked. Took a bit longer than like 50 seconds. Some people can do blindfold.
I get really rage with video games. I'm not a rage quitter. I just swear a lot.
I
Yeah,
remember.
But the
Eleanor's
main
the
reason
same.
why the main reason why I don't play Combine
COD Online?
is because
you mean
It's-
online, not online?
is simply down to campers.
They're in every
Um,
game.
Yeah, but
No,
I
not
think
Titanfall.
no, not Titanfall. But I think it kind of ruins the experience. Like when playing online, like having campers around. I understand in like large maps with where sniping's expected, but on a small map with campers, I think it completely ruins it. And also, I think Call of Duty multiplayer is unbalanced in a lot
Yeah.
of ways.
Yeah,
Like
agreed.
with me, I can't get online all the time, so I'm not gonna get to like level 60 that quickly. And I think the way the weapons are deployed is very, very unbalanced until you get to Advanced Warfare, where it seems a lot more fair.
Yeah, I think
I felt
it's with Advanced
Black Ops
Warfare.
2 was fair.
No, I think with Advanced Warfare, I think they actually give you the better guns around the midpoint of your prestige. So around about the 30 mark, they start giving you the better guns, and then there's a few guns higher up which are better. I mean, if I'm honest, the worst one for it is Modern Warfare 2, where they put the AK at 60, or was it 64?
Oh.
What was the top
Oh,
rank
yeah.
on that? Was it 70 on that game? Whatever it was, whatever the top rank was, it was that long ago, I can't remember, but whatever the top rank was, that is when you unlock the AK. Now, I don't believe in unlocking a gun on your last level of the prestige. And to be honest, I would quite like to see a system a bit like Black Ops 2 where you can buy the guns. You know, you start off, no matter what level you are, you can buy it.
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to see, because I think that would work. It's sort of going along the Counter-Strike route of it, you know what I mean? But I think that would make COD a better game. So you can buy it, which is what I like about Battlefield Hardline. That's quite similar in the fact that you buy your gun and you buy the upgrades and that sort of jazz. So, you know, I think that sort of way would be a good way to go with Call of Duty, rather like, okay, here's your pistol. Now you're going to use that until you hit level 20. And when you hit level 25, we'll give you a proper gun, because then you've grown.
Why are you talking in a Brazilian accent?
Because I
You sound
felt
like a farmer.
my
You
fields
sound
has
like
been
me when I'm
No,
I
but
find that
seriously
very,
though, I
very
think
offensive.
that's why these developer types speak. They're not quite
I-
all there. So they
I'm
go,
from
okay, well,
Bristol.
I think that you can have this
Racist.
gun for now. That's not racist, I'll have you know.
That's not a proper job when you're talking to a Bristol person.
A Bristol person.
Brizzle.
Brizzle.
Say that a
It's
Brit-
Brizzle. If you're from Bristol, it's Brizzle.
So what he does, you see how he does this, But no, seriously, that's the
Combine
sort.
that.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing I think that they should be to it. Going back to a serious note, is the fact that you should be able to unlock the guns as and when, whether that be on a token basis. You'd say, for example, to make it so that you've got to earn the gun slightly, you could always do a token system where, for example, said gun costs you 5 tokens. You earn a token per level, or by doing X amount of challenges. That would work quite well.
I wanted to go
Well,
back to
I
the
prefer-
days of Duke Nukem 3D where you had all the guns, mayhem, just a lot of fun.
I want to go back to GoldenEye
I
64.
prefer-
That's never going to happen.
Oh yes.
That's why I prefer
co-op.
co-op in every single multi game. I always prefer co-op because you're working together,
Yeah.
and you haven't got the gun disadvantage.
Yeah, I agree there. I mean, I'm quite looking forward to Rainbow Six Siege when that comes out. Because they've announced there's going to be no single player campaign. It's all going to be co-op or multiplayer online, which will be fun.
Are you in the alpha for
I've applied. I haven't pre-ordered the game because, as I said earlier, I rent a lot of games, and that'll be a rental for me and see if I like it, and then I might buy it at Christmas. But
And I'm gonna see if Luke likes it before I buy it.
so if you want me to when I get it, I'll Twitch stream it for you so you can get the gist of what's happening. But
Thank you.
I'll put my in the description of this as well, just in case people ever want to watch me. I don't do it very often, but if people want me to do it, let me know and let me know a game, and if I've got it, I'll do it. But
Just
I would have had
Dance.
fibre.
yeah, you know, fiber.
No, I live in the sticks of Scotland, so no.
Yeah, I mean, if ever they want a bit of Twitch streaming or whatever, or it'd be nice to all get together and do we could always do like a let's play together through Twitch at some point.
Yeah.
That would be quite fun.
or a charity stream?
Yeah, or a charity stream, anything. I mean, obviously, there's sort of ideas as we grow, and obviously, if people listen to this, if you think that would be a good idea or you'd like to see something along those lines, then please comment below, like us on Facebook, let us know on there. All the links will be below, so just read the description. Not many people do anymore, so that's why I don't tend to put many words in it. But all the links
And
should
before
be
Steph
below.
gets
Anyway, yeah, back to Black Ops again because we keep getting sidetracked. Does anyone else have anything to add to what they think they want? Right, okay.
Fish.
we need Lego Call of Duty.
Oh, Lego Dimensions.
Lego
Who's seen-
Dimensions looks
Who's
fucking
seen
amazing.
Lego Dimensions? That just looks awesome. I will put a link to a
It's me.
website in the description, and I will also put it up on the Facebook page later of all the play sets and party sets they're bringing out for it that have been announced.
I want to say it's Marty McFly.
Yeah, that's the play set that they're going to do. That's
Yeah,
the
I
first
want
step.
Back to the Future.
Yeah, you get the
They've also
hoverboard.
got
the DeLorean.
they've also got for any Wizard of Oz fans that's coming to it. There's Lord of the Rings that's going into it. Then you've got the DC characters like me. There's quite a few sets coming out. That
Yeah,
looks
Batman.
Really, really
Woman.
Follow
is it
the Lego brick
Ninjago?
road. Follow the
Ninjago.
Lego brick road.
yeah, Ninjago's coming into it as well.
Ninjago's coming into it. There's all sorts.
The Lego brick road.
You really
Dan,
have
shut up.
some serious editing now you've been singing down.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Yes, it is.
Right.
I sang in front of 15,000 people, I'll have you know.
That doesn't mean you're good.
No, that just means you've got balls.
I got balls of steel.
So, thanks for listening to episode 3 of the Geeks and Gamers podcast. And if you're a returning member, well, listener, should I say, then thank you for your support. And, we hope that you've enjoyed this week's episode. And yes, we have got sidetracked, as we always do, but it makes it more fun. And we never know what we're going to say until the day, so what the hell. And as a final footnote to it, I would like to put in that we are currently on Facebook and Twitter also. The link for Facebook will be down in the description. Or you could always just go into Facebook and type in Geeks and Gamers. We've got the exact same picture and cover photo, so you should be able to find us pretty easily. And also on Twitter, which is G&G_podcast. Or should I say at G&G_, because I use Twitter a lot, can't you? But yeah, on that note, I'd like to say goodbye. Thanks for coming and listening to us yabber on about absolutely nothing and staying completely off topic, as always. So it's a goodbye from me, and again, I'll let you guys sign yourself out.
Oh, it's been an interesting evening tonight. We've got a lot of comic book stuff in as well, which I've proved I'm a bit more of a geek than I thought I was. But thanks for watching.
I'm gonna go eat my Chinese now, so have a good
Pasta,
night.
pasta la vista, amigos.